how it's supposed to feel.
What's good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of our Madden 23 San Antonio Express expansion draft-only franchise, where we are at the Super Bowl about to face off for the first title in franchise history against the team that earlier in the year took the lead against us with 11 seconds left. Easily the closest we've ever come to being beaten in this season. Of course, a scenario here talking about the 1972 Dolphins, as we can become the first undefeated team since the Dolphins to go undefeated, as well as be the first team ever to win 20 games in a season. So let's preview these Giants, and while we are, it's time to give a franchise slash really channel updates. As I talked about a few episodes ago at the beginning, or I guess end of 2 weeks ago, or the beginning of last week, I can't remember. My franchise has been corrupted by EA servers on a release that Madden sent on December the 30th. They said that all franchises that accessed basically their franchise on December the 28th between a certain time and December 29th at a certain time were corrupted. And I accessed my franchise during that time, and my file is corrupted and has been corrupted. They promised an update in terms of if our franchises would be recoverable and a timeline for when they would be recoverable. I still have not gotten any word from EA yet. They didn't come through with their promised timeline. And in my experience, no news is typically bad news. So I am going at this episode like it is the last episode in this franchise. Of course, not because I want it to be. I do not want it to be at all. But because it's seeming more and more likely that I'm just never going to be able to access this franchise ever again. And this is the end of the road for my pre-recorded episodes. And so it's come way too soon, but this is probably the last time we see this team. I had to make a decision. I've waited near 2 weeks at this point for an update on whether I can get back into my franchise. Has not happened. And so I had to make a decision, and I have decided that after this episode, I will be starting a new expansion draft-only franchise with some of the improvements that I've been able to make throughout this one, some of the things that I've learned, and with an exciting new way to go about the draft. When thinking about this franchise over the last, couple of weeks, since I have not been able to record any new episodes, thought a lot about how this franchise could improve, and I've thought of a way to improve the pre-draft process. I'm very excited to implement it. Wanted to do it in this series, but it looks like we'll have to wait for another series. So if you guys really love this franchise, I am confident you'll love the new one that we'll be doing. And then if news comes out later that I will be able to access my franchise at some point in the future, what I'll do is I'll come back into this franchise and we will do like a long-term rebuild, a one-shot, maybe a two-shot video until every single player that's currently on the San Antonio Express retires. Probably the last person to retire is going to be Brandon Nash. So we'll probably just be going throughout the entirety of Brandon Nash's career. If this file ever becomes recoverable, if Madden is able to fix it, But like I said, I fear that no news is bad news, since the timeline that they promised us has already passed. If they had good news, they probably would have told it by now. And so, very sad to see, obviously very frustrating, but let's end this series with a bang, right? I mean, ending a series early is never something you want to do, but if we have the opportunity to end it on an undefeated Super Bowl winning season, as far as compromises go, I think that's about as good of a compromise as you can get. It'll be the end of going from nothing to building easily the best team in the league, if not the best team in NFL history. Thank you guys for all the support that's got us here. Very motivated to get this win, of course. This will be another game that we're not cutting anything out of. It seemed like people liked that a decent bit in the AFC Championship game. That game has a lot less views than the divisional round, but I have heard no complaints about the game being too long. So we're going to do it here, especially because this might be the last game we get to play with this team. I want to savor every last bit of it. I want you guys to be able to do the same for anyone that has come to love this team as much as I have. A lot of us has put a lot of hours into either creating or viewing this franchise develop. And so let's end it off in a good way, shall we? I think that's all we need to do prior to hopping into this game. So let's get it done. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The fight for the Lombardi Trophy. This would not be the first time the New York Giants have foiled an undefeated season in the Super Bowl. And they've already proven they can hang with us earlier this year. I'm expecting this to be a fight. Playing here in Tampa, in the Buccaneers Stadium. Raymond James. Seeing the Giants come out onto the field wearing their all whites versus our all oranges. Looking good, trotting out on the field. Those gold shoes for our back-to-back MVP, Brandon Nash. Led the team this far. We just need one more game to complete a truly historic season. Brandon Nash, back-to-back MVP. Kevonne Simmons broke the single-season rushing record this year. And let's see if we can translate all of that individual success into one more game of team success like we've been able to do all year long. The Giants will be the first to get the ball. Let's get this game underway. Nice to see the Super Bowl logo here on the 25-yard line, as well as the Super Bowl patches on the jerseys. Cool to see. We could not keep Jameis, reeled in at all in the first half of that prior meeting. Got to do a lot better job here. The defense has to play like we know they're capable of. Our offense is capable of winning a shootout, but I just don't want it to come to that. Especially because me, the human element, tends to make more mistakes than the CPU. So when it comes to a shootout, it's just who makes the less mistakes. Gotta think it might be the CPU, even with a much, much lower rated quarterback. And just team in general. We saw the team when we were previewing. Of course, I didn't comment about any of the players because I was busy giving a series update as Priester downfield makes the catch, and they are in San Antonio territory just like that. A deep shot from Winston is good. But as I was saying, we previewed the team, and they're good, not great, I would say. We're much better at basically every part of the field. That did not matter the last time they came to town. Saquon Barkley picking up another first, and they're in the red zone. Offense moving much like it did the second half of the last time we played. And if you think about the time that the Giants ended up beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think they got a lot of confidence against that team because they faced them late in the year and narrowly lost. Like, this is shaping up to be just like that Patriots season that ended in heartbreak. The helmet catch, all the good stuff. That team was led by, what is Jameis doing? Dude. Why is Jameis Winston breaking 4 tackles? Is he Cam Newton? What is that? Oh my gosh. What is going on with this game, man? Take one on the flat, comes up short, nice job with Boston and Walls, not allowing him to fall forward into the end zone. That is crazy by Madden right there that Jameis Winston just broke that many tackles. Delvin Walls gets into the backfield, shoots the gap, times the snap perfectly, and will force the 3rd and goal from the 3. My goodness, dude. That's the most impressive quarterback run I've seen this year. We have Brandon Nash. And that was my fault. Made the great play to force the 3rd and goal from the 3, and then I gave up the touchdown on the 3rd and goal from the 3. So Giants start 7-0. What was that drive, dude? Madden's already bringing out the cheese early in this one. Ridiculous. Ended on the return here. Didn't go anywhere. Out trots the offense. I don't want this to be what is going on? My logo just got off, so you're seeing my TV. I'll have to fix that at some point, but for now, try to fix it between plays as we go along, and we'll get it back as soon as possible. Kevonne Simmons fumbles the ball. Pick it up! Pick it up, dude. The Madden cheese is out early this game. I do not like what I'm seeing. Third and 3. Lewis Smart's open downfield, and he makes the catch. Beautiful throw by Brandon Nash. Keeps the drive alive. Things were looking a little ugly there for a second, but we come out of the hole there. From the gun, Brandon Nash. Kevonne Simmons swings out of the backfield. He's got it. We got our logo back, which is a little bit right there. All right, now we're good. 2nd and 4 now in Giants territory. Brandon Nash escapes to the edge. He finds it, and he's got 1st down yardage to the 34. The 2nd most impressive quarterback run we've seen today. That Jameis run baffles me, man. Kevonne out of the backfield once again. He is heavily involved in the pass game. Talked about it in that stats and awards game. Maybe we can get him a little bit more involved in the pass game. Didn't feel like we need to, but if you're going to leave him wide open, going out of the backfield, I'll take 5 yards to Kevonne. We've proven that all season that we'll take 5 yards to pop to Kevonne Simmons. Ground or air, it don't matter. One of the favorite plays in the playbook here on 1st and 10 from the 15. Love it because run or pass, it seems to always result in positive yardage. That time it goes for a run of 9. Seems to, like, in terms of scramble plays, it seems to be the play that we've been most effectively able to gain the edge there. We got suctioned into that tackle. That would have been a touchdown if I wasn't. Just because, like, our normal quarterback design run that gets to the edge hasn't been getting to the edge as much this year. That was well snuffed out by the Giants there. Go a little play action maybe. See if we can't get the ball off. And all right, the Giants' goal line defense has been tough. Okay. Moves over Sanchez. Gonna hit him late in the window, and he makes the grab, and we will tie this game up. Luis Sanchez over the middle. Of course, talked about it in the Stats and Award episode, but late in the season, he has become a much bigger part of our offense. He's done a good job with it as well. And I'll tie this game up 7-7. Welker kicks back off to the Giants here. This is the part of the game that I usually cut out, and I take my water break. So you're just going to see those this time around, I suppose. 2 minutes left here in the first. Outside give to Saquon Barkley, and Delvin Walls is right there, making the plays like that I thought he'd been kind of lacking this season. Called him out a bit, and here in the Super Bowl, already the second play he's made behind the line of scrimmage. Able to bring a guy down. Screenplay does not work there on 2nd and 12, bringing up a 3rd and long. These are the opportunities we need to get off the field. Downfield, Jameis Winston is broken up by Delvin Walls again. He has stepped up in a big way this first quarter. Let's go, Delvin. And it gives our opportunity to take our first lead of the game. Of course, we have to actually drive down the field here. We'll see if we can get anything good on a return. I'm still not good at using the left trigger to actually trigger a quick change of direction. I'm so inconsistent with that. When I use it, it tends to go well. I just need to actually use it. That was weird. Is that not weird? That just seemed like some weird movement there. Ball's incomplete. Ends up being fairly harmless in the end, but what is with the Madden movement right now, dude? Trying to hit Lewis Smart on these routes that he should be open on, but like all the glitchy spasming is... There we go. Just possession it there. Don't want to take the big hit from Watford. Look at the first down there. Maybe hits it this time around. I need men to cut it out a little bit on the weird movement. Simmons gets the carry. He trucks over a man. First down, yardage, and an injury timeout for New York. Right back to Simmons here. Got 10 yards last time. Why not give it back to him? And I thought there was only one Giants defender there. They were like just so far on top of each other. I thought we had the edge for a touchdown. And another Giants player just magically appeared out of the blue. They have 12 men on the field. They just hit them behind each other. That was really weird. I didn't know if Hazleton was open or not there. I think the defensive back was trying to play bait. So I didn't throw that. Smart also had a safety over the top help. Could have been open if we squoze it in there tight. 3rd and 3 pass play downfield is knocked down. Giants defense is playing some really good coverage here to start this game. We will take the lead. We wish it would be by 7. But I'll take any lead we can get. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Not great timing by me, but it won't be bad enough to force a miss. 10-7 San Antonio Express. And quarter number 1. Kick off here. Let me know if you're excited about the prospects of a new expansion draft-only franchise. Should be a ton of fun. Of course, I love this team, and I don't want to give them up. But a lot of the things that make an expansion draft-only franchise fun kind of don't matter in this franchise anymore. I mean, look at all the stars that you're seeing on this field right now. We have built an absolute god squad here. Darius Conner should have an X. Did he regress? Did he get a dev trait regression? He might have. George McLean only has a superstar. He had that all season though, even though he's X Factor. Just we had We had 3 X Factors available. We had Timmy Reed. We had Quincy Boston. I thought we had Darius Connor. And nice pressure there by Victor Giles. Will force the incompletion on 3rd and 7. Forcing a New York Giants punt. Back deep goes Kevonne. Simmons should have some room to return this. Can he get past 46? No, he Superman dives. Difficult. That's like the be-all. That's like the fix button for Madden is, oh, this player made a good play. Superman dive. And Kevonne Simmons there on the run. Gets up near 1st down. Like the look here we're getting on 2nd and inches for this run play. And get a decent bit of yardage out of it. Maybe should have tried to cut it more to the left there. I don't know. I didn't know if Snell was going to get a decent block if I went to the outside. From New York territory, right back to Simmons. It's been a heavy dosage of Simmons here early. That's been kind of our counter to games that might seem like they might be blowouts. It's worked for us all season long. It's going to be my strategy here. Wow. Broken up once again. The coverage has been airtight on some of our favorite routes here. But if it doesn't work first, try again. Another corner route here. This time he's wide open and he falling to the ground. Makes the catch. Still just above 50% completion percentage. Something I also want to do with the next franchise is update the playbook a little bit. I feel like we run the same plays a little bit more too often than I would like. Like a bigger variety of plays. Obviously, also will probably take out a lot of the quarterback run plays when you don't have a player like Brandon Nash. Those are plays that we added in once we got him. Probably just take them right back out. And Simmons was wide open. We just couldn't buy enough time to get an accurate pass on him there. Getting hit as he released. Probably could have walked in for a touchdown if we could have got that there cleanly, but I really can't blame him for not being able to get it there cleanly. He got smacked. Action look here on 1st and goal from the 6. Couldn't get anything on the free rusher, so we had to throw it, and that's what else is free. That safety did not bite on the run at all. I don't know why we've been running it a lot with like good numbers. Throw away there. I don't know why a run wouldn't fool them, but it did not in that situation. Maybe we just run too much play action in the red zone, so it's kind of a easy tell. Ugh. Once again, I do not like my options. The Giants' coverage has been super sticky. It's kind of ridiculous. Man coverage. Still a little bit broken in this game. I think they nerfed it a little bit, but man, sometimes no one needs even the slightest bit open. Doesn't matter your ratings, you're not getting open against man coverage a lot of the time. But regardless, we take a 6-point lead here. Would love for it to be 2 scores at this point. Giants defense has just been super tough inside the red zone, so they forced us to a couple field goals down there. Seven minutes left here in half number 1. Saquon Barkley's got a lane, and Darius Connor, nice job getting him down in open space, not getting any more yardage out of it. Sub to the 35. Another give to Saquon here, and he gets the edge on George McLean, and another big hit by Darius Connor, excuse me. That one kind of looked like it took about as much out of him as it did out of Saquon, though. Bringing a free rusher, that's Victor Giles getting to Jameis Winston. I don't know why teams don't see that coming. We run that double linebacker blitz a ton. Man coverage behind it. Like I just said, though, man coverage can be a little bit broken. So if nobody wins early, you're bringing more than they can block, resulting in sacks. Downfield goes Jameis. Skymore can't bring it in. Morris Morgan was all over that pass. Great job by him. And since the first drive, the defense is really short up. Simmons up the sideline. It's up to the 25. Five minutes left as we start this drive. Simmons another positive rush, 11 for 77 thus far in this game. Been super dependent on him all year. He's been super consistent. And if you're going to continue to bring light boxes, we're going to continue to run the ball. They gotta be better. They gotta be more intelligent than that. Come on, man. Those are the boxes we should be seeing against Kevonne Simmons. Not these little light boxes. Give it to him through the air this time, and nothing doing there in terms of breaking tackles. Holmes checks in and doesn't go anywhere. Loses two, in fact. Brings up a 3rd and 5. Going back to Simmons here. Why not? And actually pretty well defended, but he fights and gets the first down. Oh my god, I love this player. Did not want to do that. I did not want to flip the play. I accidentally pressed right trigger, I guess. Checking to a run. I don't want Joey Vasquez running the Eddie Histon route on that play. Doesn't seem like it would be nearly as effective. Over 100 yards here in the first half for Kevonne Simmons. Of course, we've already given it to him a ton of times. But this is the Super Bowl. I am not risking a loss. I'm going to win the same way we've won throughout the entirety of the first 5 years. This is the last game we ever play with this team. Why not play it? Put it into the hands of the best player we've ever had in this franchise. Again, give us light boxes. We're going to continue to run. That's the first time they've gotten a stop against Simmons. Seems like all game. Run 4 now. Simmons beat the press. Open in the end zone, makes the grab. Under the 2 minutes warning, or after the 2-minute warning, excuse me. Beat the press, coverage inside, had to step on him the whole way. Just wanted enough pass protection so we could loft it into the end zone. We got just that. Beautiful play, and that will be a 2-score lead here. Time winding down. Still plenty of time for the Giants to answer, though. We'll go by well, which is good. Or extra point, I should say, not 4 point. It's the same thing, though. PD from the end zone. Of course, had a kickoff return touchdown in the game we had last. Man, I had to mention it. I had to mention it, didn't I? And then he broke the tackle. Jameis, clean pocket, throws a strike to Sky Moore. Quincy Boston in coverage, couldn't quite break up the pass. Hurry up here for New York. And Tyler Boyd catches it. It's been with some pretty good coverage there, but just not good enough. Jaron Lacey with an injury on the play. Finally, our first round pick gets some playing time. Jameis Winston, that was a beautiful throw. Tyler Boyd could not hang on to it over the middle. That's been where teams have been able to have success, it feels like, this season. Against JT being in the slot. Just over the middle in general, whether it's against our linebackers, anything else. That's a sack. Wyatt Costanzo was there first. Timmy Reed helped clean it up. And New York will call the first timeout with 3rd and 14 looming. On the left here, let's use a little bit of Xavier Rose here. He gets a win. Forces some pressure. George McLean hits Jameis Winston. Gets him off his spot, and the Giants will punt. We still got a minute to extend our lead even more. Game has gone very well for us. I was honestly a little worried. Thank you for going in the end zone there. At the beginning, that first Giants drive, and then how Kevonne Simmons fumbled again for some reason that is beyond my understanding. Thought this might be just way too cheesy of a game, and what a strike. Brandon Nash hits Lewis Smarts. Beautiful, beautiful throw there. There was not much separation. Just put it right over the shoulder there. That was about as good as it gets. Under pressure there, can't make the completion. It's fine, it'll stop the clock. Clock overloads work so much better for the CPU than they do for the user. Like the CPU blocking is just going to get there. I don't know, overload blitz is what I was about to say. It was kind of a risky throw. I was being a little bit aggressive there. But, that's a tough interception, man. Whatever. We've been throwing those all year. JT Bean allows the catch to Tyler Boyd. 1 timeout left from midfield, 28 seconds. New York can definitely at least get into field goal range here. They could possibly get a touchdown. Which I do not want to do that. And they will get into field goal range here with Tyler Boyd. They'll probably run this down and kick the field goal would be what I imagine. 10 seconds left. I'd maybe take one shot in the end zone. They won't do that here. They will settle for 3. And this should be a 20-10 half in the books. Which is good. Threw a pick, led to 3. Giants were just getting pressure on us that whole drive. All right. Now I know what it's like to play against this defense. How we're always getting pressure. Just brought it out there just because why not? Not gonna kneel it here. Let's just give another carry to Kevonne Simmons. Why would we do anything else, right? More production for our boy, Kevonne. This is the 30, 17 for 122. Will be his halftime line. That's like a really good game line, honestly. Throwing the catches, and he's already had a good fantasy performance. 141 yards rushing at half. Between he and Nash. Holmes actually has reduced that number by 2. I want to see if they did anything special at halftime here for the Super Bowl. It doesn't look like they do in terms of the cutscenes or anything. I'm not surprised. It would have been cool had they, because the Super Bowl halftime is such a big deal. I'm not saying they should put any performers, but I don't know. Just wanted to see if they did anything special, because this is the first time I played in the Super Bowl in Madden 23, just in general. Look at the Super Bowl logo like hanging off the edge of Brandon Nash's shoulder. I know some jerseys. Wow, what a truck there by Simmons. I know some expansion teams' jerseys actually have like the patches, like at least close to where they should be. Maybe with our new expansion team, I'll try to find a team that has that, so that we can actually like put captain patches on players, have some players be captains, and because the only reason we didn't do it this year is because I think it actually makes the jerseys look worse. I don't want to make you be a captain and make your jersey look worse doing it. You know what I mean? The jersey patch, the captain patches look at least semi in a normal position. I'll put him on this next team. Kevonne Simmons continues to dominate here. have to think he's the early favorite for Super Bowl MVP for sure. Second and 8 from the 43. One back to Simmons. Gaining 5. I know sometimes just watching run after run isn't the most entertaining way to watch Madden be played, but honestly, I love playing like this. This is awesome, and this is the way we succeed. Honestly, I play a little bit like this every game. I just have been cutting a lot of the more minor runs out of the games. So now you're just seeing the whole thing. First and 10 from the 28. We'll go to the air here. But it's to Simmons. I thought we were going to run a play that wasn't to Simmons. Come on. We don't do that. I don't know how to give it to anyone but Simmons, dude. Show me how. This is the last opportunity I have to use for Simmons. I'm using the crap out of him. Simmons gets to the edge here and trucks past him in again. Oh, man. I love just running over dudes, being all violent. And then Nash running some QB wrap here. Not getting much. Running guys the ball that aren't Kevonne Simmons, they're not doing all that well. And then Nash. I was hoping to get a block there from Simmons. Couldn't get it. We're going to go from the 6. I do not want to kick another field goal. I just do not. I think we're going for it here if we get stopped. Maybe had his in there, but we needed to take it early. Oh, why can't we score in the red zone, dude? I'm running it again. Somebody get open on the slant. Holy shiz, please. This is so annoying. Nobody can get open ever in the red zone here. Thank you. Luis Sanchez out here might get Super Bowl MVP. That's the second receiving touchdown. He's not. But there we go. We extend the lead 27-10. Finally, somebody got open on a route in the red zone. I didn't know it was allowed in this game. And there we go. Take off here. Bye, Walker. Did he get stopped prior to reaching the 20? If we can get another stop here, we can enter real run the clock mode. I mean, if you guys think we've been running the ball too much, wait until we get to run the clock mode. Basically the same thing. I don't think I can run the ball any more than I have been. Nice TFL there by Timmy Reed. Has had a just incredible year this year. 34 TFLs and what was it, 14 sacks, something like that. An incredible man. He just absolutely folded that player there. Whereas Connor has been delivering some pretty decently big hits today. And Sky Moore gets the first down. There's Connor once again with a hit. Another guy that I've been saying I wish he was around the ball more, making more plays. And he's done that. Our safeties have been pretty involved here. Delvin Walls has maybe quieted down a little bit after just an awesome start. And now it's Darius Connor's turn, I guess, to start making some plays. And I talk about Delvin Walls, and he gets thrown to the ground by Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon Barkley is really good, so I don't blame him, if I'm being honest. And Saquon on the screen. We are all over it, both in terms of getting to the quarterback and of being in the vicinity of the running back. Screenplays don't work very well against us. Also, they don't work really well when they run them against other teams. They're just not very good plays this year in the game. 15 of 21 for 135. At this point in the game, you'll certainly take that. And Winston has a man. That's Sky Moore on the in-breaking routes. First and 10 from the 27 coming up here. And some more man coverage. Man in motion is Tyler Boyd. He'll get the flip, and Darius Corner once again have been saying his name a ton here. Another tackle. Oh, we're basically out at this point. That's lovely. Still got a quarter left to go. Jameis is picked by Quincy Boston, and he had the lane. He should be able to go all the way. Don't imagine anyone's catching up with his speed. Oh, a little bit of salsa dancing or whatever that is there on the way to the end zone. Quincy Boston, pick 6, puts us well into the lead here. I don't know if that's something that the Giants are going to be able to come back from. 17, you can maybe see a 24-point lead now. Honestly, like his dance going into the end zone better than his dance once he got there. But the goal for Wilker is up and good. 34-10 lead. Things are looking up for the boys. Once again to return the kickoff. Seems like he's been doing that a lot lately. Give him a 33 this time. Pretty good job. Two minutes to go in quarter number 3. Jameis on the out route cannot get the completion. Walsh was the closest man in coverage, but it should have been a completion, honestly. They had the route. Now 2nd and 10. Jameis once again has a man underneath. This time it is complete. Tyler Higbee open for a first down. And give to Saquon is stopped up. Nice play by Michael Franklin there. He had a blocker right on him, but just powered right through it. Got to the ball carrier, gunned down. Good play by our stud middle linebacker. And Jameis has all the room in the world to run. And he does. 2 for 22 for him. Block up for Jameis. He's got a man downfield. That's Tyler Boyd. Makes the catch over Morris Morgan. And this is the best drive we've seen the Giants put together since their first of the game. Easily here. We'll have to finish it, though, in the 4th quarter as quarter 3 is now wrapped up here in the Super Bowl. What Super Bowl is this? See, it's year 5 for us, but year 6 in the league because the first year we weren't in it. And this year is Super Bowl 57. So this would be Super Bowl 63. Third and 1. For the Giants here. Can we get a stop? We're going to bring some guys. And nice pass breakup by Morris Morgan there. Brings up 4th and 1. Of course, I haven't mentioned it because, if I'm being honest, that's the first time I actually noticed it. But Morris Morgan with superstar Dev, he just got that. So he got a They have great breakout as the defense gets the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage and will turn the ball over on downs. Things looking very much so like a Super Bowl win for the San Antonio Express. Come on, Simmons was stiff arming the dude, but then got some help there from his teammates. They sprinkle in a little bit of read option here. And I just wanted to give Brandon Nash a carry, even though that was definitely a give read there. Like I said, whenever we've given the ball on a carry, at least, somebody not named Kevonne Simmons has gone not that great. And whenever we've given the ball to Kevonne Simmons, it's gone pretty great. So I guess just don't overcomplicate things, right? Got the best running back in the league. When you're running the ball, give it to him. It'd be interesting to see like a running offense with Brandon Nash or with an average running back. Because then probably Brandon Nash would be a bigger part of the run game. Maybe more read options compared to just like straight up gives that we give to Kevonne. Would be my guess. But you just have to feed the beast that is Kevonne Simmons here. Nice run defense there by the Giants. They're super happy about it because they're like, yay, we never stop this guy. Eating our lunch all day long. Run 60 plays, 33 of them have been runs. And this is going to be another one. Not Kevonne Simmons. I'm just saying his name so often, I feel like everyone's Kevonne Simmons at this rate. That one was Brandon Nash. See, I feel like that, even though it's a pass play, I feel like that's our most consistent play for Brandon Nash to get to the edge on a run play, honestly. And then I like it because if that's covered up, then you pass it downfield. But honestly, on that play, my first read is to run it with Brandon Nash. So, unless, I guess maybe my first read is the second, a Y route. That's typically run by Jalen Turner when he's healthy. And then the run by Brandon Nash, and then the run by the pass to Eddie Hazelton there. Tried to get a little bit fancy there. The juke move was more like a, here, I'm just going to stop and let you tackle me move. So, not exactly what I wanted there. Pushing that here. Let me get a tight end seam route open. Hope we can get out route open. Just 200 yards passing for Nash. 3 touchdowns in the pick. Not bad. But yeah, we haven't given him too many attempts here. We've got a 100-yard game from Hazelton. Maybe the only guy I wish maybe could have had a bigger game so far was Lewis Smart. But Kevonne Simmons gets in the end zone, increasing his odds of being Super Bowl MVP. I feel like Madden's going to give it to Quincy Boston because if you get a pick 6, you're almost guaranteed Super Bowl MVP. But we all know it's Kevonne Simmons. We all know the Super Bowl MVP is Kevonne Simmons for sure. Been dominant this game. Really wanted to avoid the shootout that it looked like it was going to be early, so we employed the Kevonne Simmons strategy early, and then it was working, so we just never went away from it. Even though, you know, the threat of the shootout kind of ended pretty early in this one. Typically, this would be a point where I would, you know, super sim for the rest. But we're in the Super Bowl, and quite possibly the last time we ever play with these Express. In fact, it will be. Whether I get my franchise back or not, we'll be replaying as a rebuild, and that's a sack by George McLean. Of course, want one of those. He gets injured right after. At least we got one more sack with George McLean. If we do end up being a rebuild, I imagine we'll still jump in maybe occasionally in the playoffs to play as this team. So we'll get a couple of spots to play if Madden actually ever fixes my franchise and allows me back into it. So I imagine that would be the case. Maybe like if we get to a Super Bowl, I'll play it, something like that. Maybe not even the whole part. Maybe just like play the moments if we make a Super Bowl. Something like that in a rebuild style video. That's kind of the plan if Madden fixes my franchise. But like I said, I'm becoming increasingly convinced that this franchise file is permanently corrupted. And if that's it, oh my goodness, Priester, I'm trying to talk about my franchise here, bro. You don't need to go off on me like that. If this ends up being it, man, what an incredible ride it has been. I appreciate all the love, the comments, the likes, the views that I've been able to get. It's really made this team that much more fun. Like, I have been doing rebuilds like this, honestly, on Madden for 4 or 5 years. This is by far my favorite. And it's because I wasn't experiencing it alone, right? Like, I've built super teams before, but never have I experienced those super teams with other people. And so the views, other people talking about how they love, Kevonne Simmons or Lewis Smart or something like that, that just makes a series like this so much more fun. And so if you enjoyed this series, hopefully you'll not just like stop watching the channel after a series like this. You'll realize that we'll have other series that should be fun to watch here, and nice defense there will bring up 4th and 3. It's going to be a lot of the same format. It's going to be a play one, sim one with this next. I hope to make the draft something that's a little bit more, how do I explain it without giving away what I'm doing here? So I want it to be a surprise what I plan on doing with the draft in my next franchise. I mean, I won't be able to do it for year one, really, because basically the draft is part of the first episode of a draft-only rebuild. Going into, like, the year 2 draft or whatever, I've made some improvements, I think, to how we're going to handle the draft. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think anyone who participates is going to think it's a lot of fun as well. But more interactive is what I would call it. Let's just say it gives the viewers a lot more access to the draft than you've ever seen, right? And how we've done it in this franchise is I do a positional deep dive. I talk about every player that's on my board. I give them a rating of 1 to 5, but that's kind of just like an ambiguous rating, right? It's something that just based on how I feel, I'm like, this guy's like a 4-star player. But, and then I talk about what I think about them. There's really nothing super like defined about it. It's just kind of my feeling about them. But that's going to change with this next franchise. You're going to be able to see like a lot more about what I think about the player and all these different aspects of the games. Stuff like that, and so I'm excited for it. Obviously, it's super sad to build up a team like this, and then right when they reach the Super Bowl, right when they make it, just you're done and you never see them again. Certainly was never my intention here. I'm going to come out and we're going to go for a kneel one last time. I want to say thank you once more. I know I've already said it, but really, a franchise like this is not nearly as fun without the interactions that I've had with all the guys that have watched it and have come to love this team as much as I have. We drafted and developed a truly incredible team. We had some insane draft luck. I'd love to see if that can continue in another series. The guys like Kevonne Simmons, Lewis Smart, I'm never going to forget these guys. George McLean, never going to forget him. Brandon Nash, just an absolute busted quarterback. We'll never forget him. And see these guys celebrate. Truly, truly special team. Starting in episode 1 with 0 players on the roster, using only the draft. Build a team like this in 5 years. Truly incredible. Quincy Boston, been here since year 1. All these guys that have been here since year 1. Brian Pearson, you see another one right there. Just what a beautiful feeling to see all these guys celebrating on the podium. Pearson, Eli Shea, been there since year 1. Of course, back-to-back MVP. Been in the league 2 years, won the MVP 2 years, and now is hoisting up the Lombardi Trophy. San Antonio Express are Super Bowl champions. We can officially call the draft only experiment a success in Madden 23. We have proven it works. With my next series, I plan on making it a little bit harder. I'm giving myself significantly less draft picks going into that. I've already started up that franchise file, gotten a lot of the work done. Just need to create a storyline, and that one will be ready to go. Hopefully, maybe by towards the end of this week. Not going to be a lot of uploads this week as I get ready to start that series up and get that off-season recorded. I still have to do a ton of scouting with that. Kevonne Simmons, I think, without a doubt, he also led the team in receptions today. It was an all Kevonne Simmons game. Again, I think he might be my favorite player I've ever used, and so I wanted him to have a huge Super Bowl here. Of course, when I played this game was not live commentary. I ended up commentating over it afterwards, just because of the whole last episode thing. So at the time, I didn't even know that it was going to be my last episode using this team, but just wanted a heavy Kevonne Simmons game at the time, and I'm even more appreciative that I did it now because, my only regret would be that it wasn't a big Lewis Smart game. I would have probably tried to force feed it a little bit more to Lewis Smart had I known that was the last time I'd ever see him. For sure I would, because he and Kevonne Simmons, I went over it in the Stats and Awards episodes. My favorite tight end and my favorite running back I have ever had in Madden. Awesome players. So proud of what we've been able to accomplish here with this franchise, the growth that has given my channel. I feel like because of this series, I've gotten a lot better as a YouTuber. I've learned a lot of things in terms of content creation. Still have a ton to learn. Still have a ton to improve with, of course. But this franchise will always have a special place in my heart because it was the first one that I really committed to long term. I had, the Bears franchise was technically my first franchise, but it didn't really get a lot of legs. It lasted, 20-something episodes until I gave up on that one just because of the CPU versus CPU gameplay in Madden 23, I think, regressed a decent chunk. We had my NBA 2K23 franchise with the Houston Rockets. That one never really got any legs. I was very inconsistent with uploads, so that one's, I think, just as much on me as it is on the lack of views are just as much on me as they are on people just not watching it or whatever. I have an idea for another NBA 2K23 series as well. We might be doing another expansion one. It feels like expansion franchises are something that maybe might be better for a small channel like me. Might get more eyes on the channel than, like you see Bears franchises and Rockets franchises and Texans franchises and whatever all over, but you don't see as many expansion. You still see a ton, but definitely not as many expansion draft only. Thank you one last time for the incredible ride that we've had with the San Antonio Express. Hopefully we can get back to it later. Probably not though. And hopefully you can tune into my next franchise. Like I said, my goal is to have that first episode released by the end of this week. If not, it will be early next week. And I will see you then.